Well, today, here on techgooch, we're going back into the smart home, and this is specifically with a lamp dimmer kit from Lutron. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to techgooch, and today we're diving into the lamp dimmer kit with smart bridge from Lutron, or Caseta by Lutron. This case specifically, this comes with two lamp dimmer units. It does come with a tabletop remote or Pico remote, as well as the smart bridge itself. This is essentially a kit that if you don't already have Caseta or Lutron in your home, Lutron Caseta in your home, this is a starter kit. Now, if you already have Lutron Caseta, that you already have the smart bridge, you can get just the lamp dimmer kits themselves. And that's really what we're going to focus in on this video, is the lamp dimmer kits, because the bridge, you can get this with or without the bridge. So I'm going to put links down below to both instances. If you already have it in your house, this is how you can add it. If you don't have any Caseta by Lutron products, I would recommend starting with a kit. This is one of the options that gets you lamp control or lamp dimmer control with the smart bridge as well. And I will put links to other videos that I have. I'm actually looking to do another video just on the smart bridge, just the smart bridge setup part, because in the past it kind of did all kind of conglomerated into one. So rather than having it all put together, I'm thinking about doing another one just of that. So that's coming, and I'll put that at the end of the video when I have that available as well. So that'll be on my Geek Smart channel. But that said, how I kind of wanted to start this video is talk about the product a little bit, but mainly let's go upstairs. Let me show you. In my living room, I have two lamps connected to both of these dimmer kits. They're both separate controls, so they do need one of each. You can control two lamps per each, but essentially what that means is I can have two lamps plugged into one unit, and they can go up and down at the same time. So I have two in the living room, independent, but linked into the same room. So I can control it by sequence in terms of room. Let's go upstairs. I'll take a peek at that. Then we're going to come back down here, and we'll finish some things up, and I'll show you some other things, and then we'll finish up. So here we are in my living room, and one of the lamps that's actually being controlled by the dimmer kit is this one right here. I actually have two in the living room that are actually, I currently have it on one of the remote controls. So there's two dimmer switches in here, one for the lamp over there, one for the lamp over here. This is my light, that's my wife's light, and both of them can be controlled by the remote. So I can turn them on, I can turn them off, and you can see how they dim up, they dim down. The center button, I can just dim it right to 50% right away. I can control it manually by just going the manual buttons up and down. So there's down, there's back up. I can go back to 100% full at any time or turn off. Now, I'll be honest, we don't use the remotes in the house basically ever. I keep them in this guy in the living room, but nobody ever grabs it. We always just use Siri, because we do have a HomePod in here. You can use Siri, you can use Amazon's assistant, you can use Google's assistant, you can use any of them, which is awesome with the Lutron stuff, because it just works really, really well with a household that may be a mixed household, that maybe you have some Android devices, or maybe some Apple, or both, or just one or the other, or you just have Amazon's products in your house. You can control these with that. Now, we tend to be an Apple household, although I tend to have the other assistants as well, but all of my daughters and wife and everything, we all have iPhones, so we have Siri everywhere, and the HomePod kind of integration works really, really good in our household. So, not to say anything that I prefer one over the other, but that's the one that we tend to prefer. So, but like I said, it doesn't matter what your household uses. In this household, or in this case, I will use Siri just because that's what I have in this room ready to go. I do have access to both from here, kind of, but if you watch my setup video, you can see it actually being used like that. But rather than triggering everybody's products, hey Siri, set Brian's light to 50%.
Okay, I set the Brian's light to 50%.
So you can see that's really quick and easy to access, and it's the same on Google. Those two platforms are essentially very, very similar. Amazon's can be a little bit more archaic. You have to kind of say things how they want it. Sometimes it's not 50%, sometimes it's set to 5, like it's a 1 through 10 scale. So everything is a little bit different depending on the product that you're using. Hey Siri, turn off Brian's light.
Okay, the Brian's light is off.
And of course I have them grouped. This is the living room. Hey Siri, turn on the living room lights.
Okay, the The living room lights are on.
And so it tends to be pretty fast turning on. Hey Siri, turn off the living room lights.
Okay, the living room lights
And then
are
it's
off.
pretty fast turning off, even though it's technically being dimmed, right? It's just really, really quick. So that's what the product looks like. Now, the beautiful thing about these, in my opinion, is that I'm just using standard dimmable LED light bulbs. So these are just standard LED light bulbs. These are actually, I think, 75 watt equivalent. I might be wrong. These might be the 60 watt equivalent. But these are just standard LED bulbs, and it's not going to really matter. You can choose any bulb you want, and that's my favorite part of this. Now, I had a Philips Hue system in this room. Both these lamps here were Philips Hue at one point. I did not have the colorful ones. I just had the white ones. They operated similarly. However, these tend to be a little quicker reaction sometimes. And especially if we lose power in the house and power comes back on, sometimes I had to restart the Philips Hue hub. I've never had to touch the Lutron hub. And this is a hubbed system. So when I did the setup, and like I said, I will have a link to the setup video down below as well at the end of the video, where you can take a peek at where I set it up. I already had the hub set up. So I was adding these to a household that I already had Lutron in. Because I also have actually the wall switches back there are actually Lutron switches. So not to say that it's part of this, but hey Siri, turn on the foyer light.
Did you mean front foyer?
Yes.
Okay, the main lights are on.
Now I don't use that one very often, which obviously I have it as front foyer. So, but that you can see I have the light on back there now. And it's all part of the same system, so it's all using one hub. I'm down to one hub in this house, no more two hubs and everything. So the less devices I have down on my rack, the better. But that is how to use the dimmer kit and how much I like it. Let me go over and actually show you it at the outlet and show you what it actually looks like. So this is what I have right now. I have them both plugged in side by side to a surge protector. Now each of these can actually power two lamps, or two devices. There's a plug on both sides. You can see I'm not using the one on the one side. I wanted to separate them into two lamps. So anything that's on this one, when this turns on, obviously the whole lamp turns on. So I can click this button, and there we go. My light, that's my light. And then this one, this is my wife light. And it's just like the remote. I can turn them off, or I can actually dim them. Now there's no center button to set it directly to 50%. But yeah, so you can see that's gets a lot of dog hair back here, but we have huskies that shed like crazy. So, but that's what it is. I do have them on protected outlets because I do want to make sure they are protected from surges. And right now I have it out in the open here, so it's easier to see with me coming back here. But that's what the devices look like and where I have them placed. Now, I apologize for the noise, but I did want to show this is the Lutron hub. So if you haven't seen it before, that's what it looks like. It's a little square guy. That's it plugged in. It's actually, I have it plugged in here and then plugged into my switch. But just a little guy having a little shelf there next to my modem. But nothing big, nothing fancy. Now, a couple other things. Obviously, like I said, a little bit closer here, as you can see what everything that comes in the box. Now, I do, because I already had the hub, I do have an extra hub in here. Maybe I'll feature that as a giveaway at some point. We'll see. What do you think? Comment below. But that's, everything that I have out here. This is what that Pico tabletop guy looks like. It's just a little weighted tabletop device that the Pico remote attaches to. And it just slides out, so you don't have to have it attached. It can be just a remote as well. But this little guy is the Pico remote that it's the same Pico remote you can use in all the things. So you do link it to whatever you wanted to link it to. I have it linked to control both of those lamps because it just goes to the system is what it does, and then it controls whatever's in the system. And then you can see that center button. That's that 50% button. So I can actually control that from here all the way down in my basement. These will control that light. It doesn't have to be, it has to be on the same system essentially. So that's that. These are a couple of things. You can buy more of these tabletop guys. This is how they come in a little box. So like I said, one does come in the kit, but if you wanted to add more remotes, you can get the tabletop. Also, you can get a wall plate bracket. These wall plate brackets allow you to mount a Pico remote into a decor plate, basically, where you would have an actual switch for your lights. So let's say you're replacing that, or you want to put you can just get like a a remodeler's box or a low voltage box, put it in the wall, and mount this guy in there, and then put a decor plate around it. And now you have this basically as your wall switch for the living room. And it does run on batteries, so you will have to replace the batteries after quite a time, but they last a long time. I'll give them that. They're just a little coin battery, and they do last a long time. So I did want to point that out as some other options that you will have, specifically the wall guy. And I've never done this because, like I said, in our household, we don't really use the buttons personally. We use the voice. It just works easier because you can do it from wherever, the kitchen, the bedroom, whatever. Anywhere you have a smart assistant, right? And that's the beautiful thing about Lutron is, yes, it does work with Apple HomeKit, but it does work with Amazon and Google as well. That's my favorite thing about these. Now, also, one more thing to point out is, this is another one of those really, really cool parts. When you set up this hub, right? You usually try to put this hub near the center point of your house. You don't have to, but best because that is kind of like a Wi-Fi access point, right? It's off of your Wi-Fi. It's its own wireless network for these devices to connect to be able to control. However, when you add the first one of these wall lamp dimmers, this guy actually will become a range extender of that, which just boosts the range of your entire setup. So just so you know, these things are awesome. They do more than just control. They also do expand the range of Lutron's wireless system off of their hub. So yeah, it actually makes everything run better when you add these smart devices. Now look, I do point out everything as truthful as possible. Lutron Caseta, they did send me this to do a review or do a video on. However, my opinions are not based on that. I'm going to base this on if I bought this myself. Because, I will be honest, I have purchased 6 Caseta by Lutron products in my house already out of my own money because I really like their products. This is another one that I am very, very happy to have these that actually replace my Philips Hue. Now I understand, Philips Hue is fantastic and they do some things that this cannot do, specifically if you're looking at colors. And if you have already a household that's integrated, great. However, I dislike having to replace a bulb that maybe have gone out or I want to change the color or brightness and have to buy another expensive Philips Hue bulb. I love being able to buy a $1 bulb, personally. This is the smart part, and I can actually control multiple lights off of this. That's why I like smart switches rather than smart bulbs in overhead lights. The smart switch is the one piece, and I may have a chandelier that has 8 bulbs on it. As long as it doesn't exceed the rating of the switch, I am good. So just like that, I am definitely very, very much game for having these wall dimmers. They work fantastic. I've noticed it to be a little more responsive than my Philips Hue did in the past. And more than anything else, if I want a brighter bulb, I can add a brighter bulb. If I want to change the color of the white to a whiter light, it's a cheap and easy upgrade. And I don't have to change the hues on a color bulb. I can just stick with my white bulbs. That's just me. That's an opinion. But do I think that this product is great? Yes. And more than anything else, it works with all assistants. It integrates into a large system of various devices that you can control, from shades to fans to all sorts of stuff. And their outdoor switch is great as well. So there's a lot of stuff that Caseta by Lutron has available to you. It's just whether or not you integrate it into your home. So again, as before, and I've done several product videos for Lutron, or Caseta by Lutron. Thank you for allowing me to do this because I love this product. Truly, truly I do. Now, like I said, I will put links down in the description for where you can take a peek at this, both if you want to purchase, as well as if you want to go directly to Lutron's website and get more information for yourself. I'll have all those links down in the description. Also, I'll have links to these accessories pieces as well. If it's something that you want to add, I'll put the link down below as well, so it's easy for you to find. So, thank you, as always, for coming, stopping by, sticking to the end. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you can for me. I'd appreciate it. And we'll catch you back here on techgooch. Now, also be sure to watch the setup video over on GeekSmart. Also link below. Link at the end here. Should be fairly easy to find it. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you back here on techgooch for another future video review. We'll see you soon.